Hello everybody, welcome back to Life Stories. My name is Trent, and I hope you're all doing awesome as always. And as always, we got more stories coming at you from Reddit/idontworkherelady, so let's get started now. Our first story is titled, Night of the Living Karens. Ooh. I don't think this will be a horror episode, but who knows? Tried to post before. I think, however, Reddit censored it because of my profession. A little about me. I am a CEO running 4 retail shops that cater to sporting goods that heavily focuses on hunting, but is not limited to hunting. The coronavirus panic has just kicked in. I put in a full 16 hours checking inventory, doing the billing and payroll. I decided to stop and shop for a dinner at Walmart. I walk in wearing a black shirt that says, "My rights don't end where your feelings begin," with a Gadsden flag on it. On the back, I had a custom print done saying my rights are not up for negotiation until you give up your car. With the number of people who die in car accidents, and think of the children under it. I hit the pre-made salad and sandwich aisle. Nothing. I move around to the burrito area, and I hear an ahem behind me. I figured I was in the way, and moved out of the way. I hear the annoyed ahem again, followed by an irate voice of a wild Karen. "You should at least acknowledge me, sir." I look up, and she begins to ask me if I'm going to make any more sandwiches. I say, "Madam, I don't work here. I do know, however, the sandwich people are gone for the day. They'll make more in the morning." She storms off, talking to herself that I was a rude associate. I shrug and continue shopping for my dinner. I move over to the pizza section, and there's nothing. Yet, while there, I get yelled at by another Karen. She demanded to know why I was out of uniform and that I almost ran her over, despite keeping the 6-foot social distance. I politely tell her, "Madam, I don't work here." I then mosey off before she can speak to me further. While walking away, I hear her gasp and explain loudly to someone that I was very rude to her. In the frozen food aisle, looking for at least a bag of French fries or tater tots, or even a frozen pizza, I hear another ahem behind me. I push forward, thinking I'm in the way again. I hear yet another ahem, followed by a hand on my shoulder. It's a Chad and a Karen. Chad is the one grabbing my shoulder. I push his hand off and turn to face him, telling him if he can touch me, he's within the state-mandated 6-foot distance and to piss off. He recoils in horror, and his Karen gasps. He demands to speak to my manager. I tell him that I don't work here, and he can talk to the manager all he wants. I then walk away as they storm off to the customer service center. I finally found food for dinner. A frozen bag of veggies and frozen chicken strips in the next aisle. I move on and grab some trail mix for breakfast and lunch tomorrow for work. I head to the sporting goods section to look at their pew-pew materials. I can sometimes find cheaper there than at my own shops. I buy 3 boxes of 12-gauge turkey pew-pew materials, the last 3 there. I hear a Chad behind me howl in disgust. "Why are you buying those? You work here." "Paying customers first. Those are mine by right," he legit shouts. I turn and politely tell him, yes, paying customers first, and I am a customer who just bought them. I do not work here. His pet Karen chimes up. "You certainly do work here. I see you here all the time." I explain I don't work here. I'm the owner of my business name. I then walk away, leaving them fuming. The poor girls with the key to the pew-pew materials cabinet chimes up. "He doesn't work here." They go off yelling at her about how she's covering for a thieving employee who's taking from customers to be rude to a greedy person. I stopped by office supplies and electronics to pick up some goodies. I then remembered something from my list back in the food section. I go to get English muffins. I don't see the kind that I like, but I see the honey wheat ones, and I grab 3 for the gazillion eggs I got at home. A wild Karen freaks out on me. "You're an employee. You shouldn't be hoarding stuff." I politely tell her I do not work here, and exasperatedly ask why everyone thinks I'm an employee. I'm clearly not dressed like an employee. Everyone must either be drunk or their parents are brother and sister and stuck on stupid. She comes back with, "Why else would you be at Walmart?" I walk away, laughing, and retort, "You must be a Walmart employee too. Why else would you be in Walmart?" I'm looking over jewelry when Chad from Sporting Goods walks up and reaches into my carriage, taking out the 3 boxes of 12-gauge turkey pew-pews. This was seen by Mark. Mark is the 62-year-old store manager who's being followed by no less than 10 people, all pointing at me saying that I was a rude employee who they had been snubbed by. The Chad, caught red-handed, claims I stole them out of his cart. Mark listens to them and all their complaints while keeping a smile. After they each said their piece, he proudly declares to the group, some of which had people who didn't even talk to me upset about my choice of attire, that I don't work here and never have, that I am a regular customer, but I own a number of sporting goods stores, and that he had just bought a turkey scatter pew for his nephew to hunt with directly from me, and saw me walk out of the office of the store. Many grumble and accuse him of playing favorites and protecting his employee, vowing to complain to corporate and never shop there again before disbanding. Mark turns to the Chad, still holding the 3 boxes of my turkey pew-pews. "You come with me." I follow Mark, and Mark reviews the camera footage to determine who the boxes belong to. I even provide my receipt, because I never walk away from sporting goods without paying. Mark turns to me and asks if I want to press charges. I agree and wait for the police. Chad is arrested, and I fill out my witness statement. Mark does so as well, and turns over a copy of the security footage and a photo of my receipt. I pay for my things, and Mark compensated me with 3 bags of trail mix for the insanity of the store. We jokingly exchange some talk about our respective businesses and the chaos. I wave and tell Mark I'll see him later, and to drop by the shop because his other pew-pew spewer had come in, and I'll throw in a goodie bag for him to thank him for the extra trail mix. I left having survived the night of the living Karens in one piece. Well, I mean, you know what they say, how you deal with the living dead, pew-pews, but hey, we didn't have to resort to that, so great. Moving along, our next story is titled, "The Only Michael's Employee in Scrubs." Y'all, bear with me, it's a long one, but this was a situation I never imagined myself in. Background: a few years ago, I worked for a small local daycare, and our uniforms were scrubs, just like nurses would wear, but we would pick our colors. This day, I was wearing navy blue scrubs, white tennis shoes, and my work badge with the daycare name on it. The cast is me, CL, Crazy Lady, IS, Innocent Shopper, and AE, Actual Employee. After work, I stopped by Michael's to pick up some paints. There was another older lady, IS, in the aisle with me, minding her own business, also looking at paint. I see a buggy turn around the corner and come towards me. CL says, "Excuse me." Me, thinking I was in her way, "Oh, sorry, I'm still looking at the paints," and step to the side to get out of the way. "Excuse me, don't ignore me. This is rude and unprofessional." Me, looking up, confused, yes, ma'am?" "I need a hot glue gun." Me, still confused, "Okay." "Well, where are they?" "I have no idea." CL, now obviously annoyed, "What kind of answer is that? Isn't it your job to know? Are you new? Did they not train you, or did they just not care?" Me, realizing now that she thought I worked there, "Ma'am, I'm sorry, but I don't work here." CL, now calling out to IS, "Can you believe this kid is going to just stand here and lie to my face?" IS, now looking at this lady like she's nuts, turns and walks out of the aisle without saying a word. She turns back to me. "Look, if you want to play this game, then take me to your manager." "Ma'am, I do not work here. Look at my badge. I'm not even in their uniform." "I cannot get over your arrogance. Take me to your manager now." AE comes into the aisle and is trailing behind her. "Is everything okay here?" "Absolutely not. Go ahead and tell him how you've been acting, ignoring a customer, lying to a customer, and then refusing to let me speak to a manager. Tell him." "I'm really sorry, AE. I tried to tell her I don't work here and can't help her." "Ma'am, this is not an employee," AE says. "She's wearing scrubs, and we wear these red shirts." CL looks back and forth between me and AE a few times, turns bright red, and tears fill her eyes. She grabs her purse out of her cart and sprints past IS. AE apologized profusely and thanked IS for going to get him. also gave me half off on my whole purchase. Hey, I mean, if you're gonna deal with a Karen, you might as well get compensated, right? As much as I don't shop at Michael's, that sounds pretty sweet. And anyway, that's all the time we have for today, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Life Stories, and I hope you're all doing well during these crazy times. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so you can stay entertained while you're cooped up at home, and I can still keep bringing you good content. My name is Trent, this has been Life Stories, and I hope to see you guys soon.